It's really respecting or focusing on the journey more so than the endpoint.
Yeah, when I first started hearing like it's the journey, not the, I'm like, oh, like I didn't like. It took me a while before like I'd heard it over and over and again. I'm like, oh shit, like I'm central casting for that.
Yeah.
Even to my love of losing in entrepreneurship, I love the game of entrepreneurship more than I like myself. And what I mean by that is I get a sick, almost twisted joy out of when I lose because I'm like, good.
Because you learn.
Because I'm like, and even more than that. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
No, it's like, I don't know if you see this, I'm getting goosebumps. It's like this sick respect for the game that I like when the game fucked me. Like I wasn't good enough. Somebody else did it better or I didn't see it. It's like being such a good fighter. Actually, I think about great fighters. I gotta talk to some of these MMA guys that I respect. I have to have dinner with one or two of the best of all time and ask them, do you think it's cool that you got knocked out because you enjoy the fact that you understand why you fucked up? Like, oh, I didn't fucking see his feint. Like, do you love the game so much that even at your own expense, there's some sort of joy beyond just learning? Some sort of like ideological respect for the whole thing. I respect entrepreneurship so much. I believe in merit so much. The reason I loved sports so much is either you win or lose. Right? You play. That's why I love fighting. Like you fight, someone's gonna win or lose. It's a fight. That's why I wish every boxing and MMA fight could not end in judging, because that's not merit. Just let them fight until somebody loses. Like that would be the ultimate sport in my opinion. I'm just gonna say it nice and slow. If you're good enough, if you're great, if you've got it, if you're a player in this game of entrepreneurship, the years that you would go if you decide to go help your family business expand its restaurant business or dry cleaning business or whatever, classic, often immigrant, but not always immigrant family businesses. If you go and give them 22 to 30, a couple things will happen. One, you're gonna learn a lot of shit pretty fast because you're gonna be in the trenches of a family business, not in a corporation where you're not learning any fucking real shit. Two, if you go straight into your game, that's epic. And I listen, I know if I was born in this era, I wouldn't have went into my dad's business. The internet would have been too much. It would have been too seductive. I would have made millions in high school, let alone, know, so I think that's real life. So I can't sit here and say, go into your family business where I know if 15-year-old me's listening, he's going direct to fucking consumer. But I do think you'll be happy that you did it. Even if you get into big fights with your family, remember, if you don't choose money over the love of your family, it will always be okay. It's always ego of the family members that's the issue, not the money. And here's the big one. I was 33 years old, let me put it that way. I was 33 years old, working full-time in a liquor wine store. You have time if you're good enough. That was my pit stop to do some mitzvah for my family. And then I've been on my actual solo journey since 34, so the last 14 years I've been building my world, and I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Cool. One more thing, I want to hang on the Jets for one, and then I have some. I have a lot of questions. But how do you plan on structuring that deal for the Jets?
I think because I know that I don't have the financial ability to buy the Jets within the next 5 years, I'm not spending too much time on it. Meaning, even in the last couple of years, the NFL is now more open to private equity invest. Like the thing, by the time I'm ready, there's gonna be so much change. Like, who knows with the blockchain, with new regulation, with cryptocurrency, with the new world order, the BRICS alliance, the US, the modern Cold War. I mean, I'd like to think I'm thoughtful enough to know that by the time I'm ready to strike in 20 years, the model that the model might be $5 from every human on earth, or it might be borrowing against all my assets, or I made the there's so many ways to, or I may meet 2 or 3 people tomorrow, let alone some people on my mind right now that become my greatest business friends who also might be diehard Jet fans, and they might be my partner group. So it's too far out for me to know. I just know that since somewhere around 1985, I've wanted to try to buy the Jets. I will say it right now on film. Look at Mark Cuban. I mean, let's say I wanted to buy the Mavericks. I would have never in a million years thought that Mark Cuban was going to sell it this year.
No way.
A year ago, I'd have been like, okay, Mark's a little bit older than me. And boom, I know I'm 100% not in control when the Johnson family decides to do what they're gonna do. I can only control being a great enough businessman and entrepreneur to create the wealth creation that gives me a shot. I spend 100,000% of my energy thinking about that.
Yeah.
I don't think about deal structure. I don't think about the day. I don't fantasize about it. And most of all, I don't need to actually accomplish it. And this is the curveball to the whole thing. What I didn't know for a long time, until probably my mid-30s, even before the whole Garyvee thing started, somewhere around then I'm like, oh, I don't need to buy the jets. I need to try to buy the jets. And I would say for a lot of entrepreneurs that are listening, that will probably resonate. For the purebred, not the people that use entrepreneurship to make money to hide their insecurities.
Right.
I mean for the purebred entrepreneurs that will do it for the game. The ones like me that want to wake up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday to go garage sailing because buying something for $5 and selling it for 80 is fun because you're an entrepreneur. To that guy and girl, I think they'll understand what I'm saying with, I don't need to buy the jets, I need to try to buy the jets. You know, I think I plan on it by building 2 meaningful, maybe 3 meaningful businesses that I own, more so than, let's say, starting a fund or investing. And so the 2 big ones in my universe are VaynerX, the holding company that holds VaynerMedia and the other several marketing companies in that, and then VFriends, the intellectual property company that I started as an NFT project. And I feel like what I've always planned on with VaynerX and VaynerMedia was to build a private equity firm on top of that. So I've always thought about my mission in marketing when I started the company 14 years ago was if I built the best contemporary marketing, I thought in Star Wars terms, if I built the best marketing Death Star in the world, meaning, and I use the Death Star, you know, if you're a Star Wars nerd, if it pointed its powers against a planet, it could blow up a planet. So if I could build the best marketing Death Star, and whether I pointed it towards a bottled water or a political campaign or a nonprofit, you know, whatever I pointed it to, if it always did remarkable, better than any other way that it could have done that, well, that would be the ultimate leverage in the business world. And private equity is an industry I'm fascinated by because I think it's right. And I'm a business nerd. The idea of buying something and doing it better, it's like fun. It's like operations. That's what I love to do. But I've always looked at it as they're good at operating, they're good at CFO, they're good at COO, they're good at CEO, they're good at financial arbitrage, and they're all, and I mean the best ones, the Apollos, the Carlyles, the BlackRocks, they're all really bad at marketing. And I mean really bad. And I have some nice relationship with some of the top guys and gals in the game. And what you learn is they understand the Excel sheet of it all. They understand a lot, but marketing is a black hole for all of them. And that is consistent to what I see in the Fortune 500 ecosystem. I get to work with some of the biggest brands in the world, and it is very clear to me that the way I define marketing in a day trading attention and the way they define marketing is different. I've been able to find the middle so that we can work with them, but it is my everyday hope that when we work with them, that I'm moving them more towards our side of things, right? I always tell my people at Vayner, we get paid to think and strategize for them, not only run the media and do the creative and all that. And so all that leads to a long rant of the 3 entities that I think could get me to the kind of business success that could allow me to fulfill my 4th grade dream is VFriends, VaynerX, and this private equity firm that I'm going to build on top of VaynerX, meaning the talent from VaynerX will come over and will be the first private equity firm that creates hyper growth of the businesses we buy, not just operational efficiency. At 48, if I execute that for the next 20 years, at 68, I feel like I'm in a position to make that kind of money.